From the punishing jungle of Tropic Regions Test Center, this is Outpost Outspoken. Outpost Outspoken is the official podcast of U.S. Army Yuma Proving Ground, which conducts natural environment testing of military equipment in Arizona, Alaska, and the tropics. Hello, I'm Mark Schauer. Civil engineer Rolando Ayala has worked at U.S. Army Tropic Regions Test Center and its predecessor test center since 1988. In that time, he has had a hand in developmental testing of items from sensors to military vehicles, and he has no plans to stop doing his important work anytime soon. Hey, Rolando, it's really good to visit with you. Now, you've been with Tropic Regions Test Center, or Tropic Testing, since 1988?
Exactly. April 88, I became part of what used to be Tropic Test Center.
And how did you get the job?
There was a contractor that had been awarded back then to provide support to the mission here in Panama, and he was missing a soil lab technician. I was interviewed one day, and the next I was here. I think it's one of the best breaks that I could have ever had.
And at that time, you were studying civil engineering.
I was already working at the university soils lab, and I had completed my civil engineering studies, yes.
Now, over the years, you've done testing on numerous pieces of equipment, vehicles.
Yes, mainly communication equipments, passive and active sensors, also detection systems, chemical detection systems, MBC protective garment, mass protection systems also, and then every so often a vehicle test. So yeah, a really broad range of different systems that have come through tropic testing through the years, yeah.
Now, a lot of times when there's a test down here, folks from Yuma come to support it, and you have to help them.
Correct. SMEs and personnel from YPG will come down to tropics, either Panama or Suriname, to conduct the test, and the personnel from Panama and Suriname will provide support to them. And also make sure things go smoothly and the goals of each particular project are met. Yeah.
There's a lot of coordination because we don't own any land here.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the dynamics about for each project we need to negotiate with the host country. First, for the system to be green lighted for testing, either in Panama or Suriname, and then access to the installations where each test is conducted. As you mentioned, Tropic Region Test Center doesn't own any of the pieces of land or facilities that we use to conduct these projects, and it's thanks to the close, knit relationship that we have developed through the years with government authorities in Panama and Suriname, and also thanks to the support from the U.S. Embassy in both countries, that we are able to receive approval to conduct this test.
So after 34 years, you must like it here.
I really enjoy what I had as opportunities to develop knowledge. I'm passionate about the importance of the mission that is conducted by Tropic Region Test Center, now Tropic Test Center back then. I really believe that we are able to determine for the decision makers in Army how to get the most out of each system in this particular environment, the tropics.
And this is a very demanding environment, more so than people imagine.
Is something that if you haven't experienced, you probably won't be able to fathom. The combination of the environmental factors, relative humidity, the temperature, the rainfall, the biomass, the constant attack by microorganisms into different systems. Is combined also with the interaction between the warfighter and this environment. The human interaction with the environment is important because it is different to operate these systems in an environment like the desert, where it's open, to operate that system when you are surrounded by vegetation and different organisms that not always welcome your presence.
Now, you speak English very well. How did you learn English?
Yeah, I was captured by the English language through my experience watching baseball games when I was in elementary school with my mother. The Southern Command Network that was responsible for providing information to all the troops based in Panama back then in the 70s, will broadcast every Saturday afternoon a double game, baseball from the major leagues. And my mother and I used to watch the games. We didn't know what they were speaking, but we were baseball fans, so we could manage to understand what was going on. And I remember we used to be fans of the Cincinnati Reds and the Los Angeles Dodgers, yes.
Do you expect you're going to stay at TRTC for a number of years more?
I will stay here at TRTC for the immediate future. I see myself staying here until they don't want me anymore. I really appreciate the opportunity of being involved with something that is relevant and that makes a difference.
Hey, Rolando, thanks so much for visiting with us today.
Thank you, Mark.
Born in Panama, Ivett Gutierrez lived in Canada for 20 years, where she ran her own marketing business, became a certified yoga instructor, and was founding chair of a nonprofit organization that promoted Latin American culture. It was quite a difference from working in the rugged jungles of Tropic Regions Test Center. Ivett, how did you end up working at Tropic Regions Test Center?
Hi, Mark. After back from Canada, after 20 years, I found this opportunity to work and be part of this team. And I really like it. Since the first time I came here, I really liked the opportunity. I feel very grateful for being selected to be part of this equipment, this team here. So it's amazing. It is amazing, and I enjoyed it after 7 years. So it's great. I can't tell anything else. It's just great to be part of this and contribute every day with my experience, putting something else in the world for the safety of this planet.
Among other things, you've been a test leader for Tropic Regions Test Center. What did you test?
A few years ago, we have I have the opportunity to work as a test leader for the jungle combat boot. We have a test in the middle of the jungle here in Panama. We test the durability, safety, and everything related the boot that soldiers are going to use in the combat.
There's pretty rigorous testing with the boot. I mean, what all went into making the test happen?
Part of the success of this test, the result of this test, it was because we have a really good team. We have personnel that really know what they're doing here. I feel very grateful to have to select very important personnel for the Tropic Region Test Center to collaborate and contribute in this test, and the results were amazing. We have a very successful test with amazing results.
Now, you had a small business in Canada, and you still do these days. What's your business?
Well, in Canada, I used to have banners to go, was a few years ago, and now here I run a yoga retreat center in my weekends when I can do it. Yoga retreat center is part of my yoga career also that I have as a yoga instructor. to promote wellness, health, and everything related to the well-being.
How did you get interested in yoga?
Well, after being in Canada for a few years, and I think I become very stressful with a lot of things on my hands. So I have 2 herniated discs, and I was very close to have a surgery. So in that time, I started doing yoga with my yoga therapist. And after 3 months of doing my yoga therapist, I miracles saved, and I don't need more doctors and medications. So since then, I started doing yoga as my personal goals, and that's it. Since then, I still practicing my yoga.
So you served as a test leader. What are you doing these days for TRTC?
Right now, I am a property administrator in TRTC. I handle everything related government property, from GFP all the way up to test property also. We handle everything related to the location of the property, the acquisitions of the property, whole control the properties also, and also doing the internal audit for the processes that we carry on here, administrative in TRTC. We have to make sure that we comply with all the processes according with the FAR, the regulations. And I'm very excited doing this because it's put us in a more organized and a very, very well, like in a situation like we can be more prepared and be more organized for processes.
Had you ever heard of testing of Army equipment prior to having this job? Did you know something like this existed?
No, really, no, really. My whole concept for my professional life was based on commercial and a business experience. So, but I do handle this job as my business. So I think that's why I really like it, because for me, this is my business. It's not only a job where I can come every day and just do a regular work as any other employer. I run this as is my business.
You talked about the TRTC team. You've got a lot of interesting people you work with.
Exactly, yes. We have a lot of interesting people, and we learn. I learn every day from more experience personal that we have here. We have workers here for so many years, and for me, it's also have been like a school. Learning every day something different, is amazing.
You've been here almost 7 years now.
Yeah, actually, next month it will be my 7th year working here. I can't believe it, but it has been a learning process, a learning curve. Every day, learning something different, and I think I want to keep learning more. So it's good. It's good for my career.
Ivett, thanks for visiting with us today.
Thank you so much.
This has been Outpost Outspoken. Thank you again for listening. We'll see you next time from the Army's busiest test center.